everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Katarina. Today I'm going to film my first update for my rolling project pan in 2025. I will say this is today the second take of me filming this video. I just didn't like the first footage, but I'm filming now pretty late in the evening, so I'm starting to be a little bit tired, so I'm sorry if I mess up my words. And yes, I did redo my makeup. It didn't stay this nice the entire day, and I actually didn't even like my first look. Anyways, this is the project where I can put all of those products that don't fit into the other projects I'm doing. I'm doing a Pan That face palette, a Pan That palette, and then a lip product project pan. So this is going to be everything else, and I don't have a fixed amount of products in this project. I'm going to roll in products as I feel like. And I will say today I do have quite a bit of empties to share with you, and also I'm going to be rolling in some new products. And what else? Oh, I do film updates to this project in every 6 weeks. So I filmed the intro in the beginning of January. I'm today filming February 16th, but the video will probably go up in a week, so a little bit towards the end of February. But then the next update I will film the end of March. So I think that's all of the basic information about the project. Now let's get into it, because we need to talk about all of these products that are in this bag. Yes, there is a lot. I did reach my goal in a lot of the products, so a lot will be rolling out because they're empties, and a lot will be rolling in. So let's go through these products category by category rather than empties first, then the products that stay in, then the roll-ins, because I feel this way if I go category by category I don't necessarily need to repeat myself quite so often. In the intro I didn't have in this project any primer, any foundation or any concealer, but this time I will be rolling in a foundation and a concealer because both of these are slightly too light for me. I'm able to make them work. I do mix them with something that is slightly darker, but I would like to get these out of my collection before spring really comes and I'm starting to get tanned. Typically it happens somewhere in May. But yeah, I'm going to roll in the Catrice Invisible Cover Foundation. This one is in the shade 17 Neutral. Not my favorite foundation necessarily. I have been testing this since it came, but I just think when it comes to Catrice foundations, I do really enjoy them. I think Catrice makes good foundations, but I think the HD coverage one is the best because it's really thin although it's full coverage. Anyways, I do want to finish this one. I think there's maybe a little bit under half of the bottle left. It might be a little bit difficult to tell because this foundation is pretty thick, so there's quite a bit gathered to the sides of the bottle. I think this one probably will be gone by the next update. I do use every day, and I know this sounds like a lot, but it's not, surprisingly, when I actually get it on my face. So I do use 2 pumps of this and 1 pump of a darker foundation. Then the Revolution Conceal and Hydrate Concealer. This one I was using mixed with a darker concealer, but I finished the darker concealer and now I don't really reach for this because I just use on my under eye a concealer that is a nice shade match on its own. And yeah, maybe I will need to do a little bit more of highlighting because I think that is the way that this one works the best. And that's what I did right now. But honestly, on my everyday, when I do my makeup early in the morning, that just feels kind of like an extra and unnecessary step. But I do think that is the way for me to get this one out, so I'm trying to put a little bit more effort into finishing this. I don't know how much there is left. I have been using this like since September, I think, until somewhere in January when I finished the darker concealer that I mixed this in with. But still there's plenty of product coming from here. But I do think I'm getting closer to the point where the stopper needs to be removed, but I'm not quite there yet. So I don't think this is going to be done by the next update, but I wish it could be done by the update that I will film midway through May. Okay, so now we get to talk about products that I put into this project in the intro. So I actually put here 2 powders, and one of them I was able to finish. This one is the Catrice Invisible Matte Loose Powder. So it is now gone, and I got to say I really dislike this powder. So this is one of those powders that is just really fine, and there's something in it, I think it is silica, that makes it just kind of like really silky, but at the same time it makes my skin really dry, really matte, to the point that my skin looks completely lifeless when I use this, and it makes my skin really tight, and like all of a sudden when I use this powder there's dry patches that I didn't even know that exist before I used the powder. So I do not like this powder at all. I do still like matte leaning skin, but not dead matte, and this is going to give me a dead matte skin. Also, this one will give a horrible white cast if you do use flash photography or film with a ring light, so not a favorite and wouldn't recommend. And the another powder to that is kind of like the opposite. This one is the Wibo Diamond Skin Powder, and this one is a glowy setting powder, which I want to have the option of a glowy setting powder and a matte setting powder in my collection. But I don't necessarily want glowy powder that is glowy to the point that my face looks shimmery. Also, I do think with this one it doesn't really set my face properly, so I need to use quite a bit, and still I noticed like hair sticking to my face. And actually I have made pretty good progress with this one. There is that much left, so this one for sure will be gone by the next update. Today I am wearing this, but not on my T-zone and not on my under eye. On those areas I'm wearing a matte powder, but then I'm wearing this like on the sides of my face. Okay, then in the intro I put in a setting spray, and I was kinda hopeful that this would be gone by this update, but unfortunately it's not. It's not far away from being done. However, this is the Catrice Multitalent Fixing Spray. I don't know how the camera now picks it, but the product goes down there. I don't now remember exactly where the product was when I rolled it into the project or when I started the project, but it was closer to being full. I don't really like this setting spray because I don't think this does much. Well, when I used the Dead Matte Catrice setting powder, it would take the dryness away a little bit, but this one doesn't really help with the longevity of my makeup, unfortunately. But I have been using this every day because I'm just used to using a setting spray, and this is another one that will for sure be done by the next update. There's not much left. I don't think it's going to take more than couple of weeks until this one is finished. I'm going to be rolling in another setting spray. This is the iconic London Prep Set and Glow setting spray. It's one of these that when you shake it, there's that beautiful kind of like rose gold swirl going in the bottle. When you get it to your face, it's actually going to look shimmery. I remember when I got this and when I was testing it, my husband once asked, why do I have shimmer on my face? Also, I will say one thing that I'm not the biggest fan of is that this one has a really aggressive sprayer. What I like about this setting spray is that it's going to give a glowy finish to my face, and it still makes my makeup last longer, and I think this one doesn't have alcohol in it. Once the Catrice setting spray is done, I'm going to move into this setting spray. And right now I cannot really give any predictions how quick I think it will go, because the bottle, as you can see, is almost full. So there's plenty of product left, and it's for sure going to take a while until I am able to finish it. So I think I will need to use it a couple of months to really see how quick progress I'm able to make. But this is the setting spray that I want to work on. Okay, moving on from complexion products. I don't have any cheek products in this project currently, because my main focus when it comes to cheek products is my Pan That Face palette. However, in the next update I might roll in some cream and liquid cheek products, or in the update after that, but we will see. But I do have some eye products here, and next I actually do have a roll in. This is the Stroke of Genius Brow Pencil from W7. I bought this recently because I wanted to try a skinny brow pencil again, because sometimes I struggled just using eyeshadow or brow powder because I felt I cannot get quite precise application enough. So I wanted to try something that I used to do back in the days when I did draw in the shape of my brows with this kind of skinny pencil and filled my brows in then with eyeshadow. While that works, I do think this is not that necessary product for me, and I do think the issue that I really have is that my brow brush, which I have had almost a decade, it's a really nice brush from ABH, but I think that one is just not the best anymore because the bristles kinda point everywhere, so I cannot get as precise application as I want to. So I think instead of adding a new product to my routine, an extra step, because I'm anyways going to then fill my brows in with eyeshadow, I think I just should buy a new brow brush. So that's my plan, but before that I do want to of course finish this one. Now, this one came in broken, I did order it online, so the brow pencil part itself has, you know, gotten loose. We will see if I'm able to actually get everything used, but I'm going to keep using it as long as I can. I will try to get it done by the next update, and at least if I do fill my brows in completely with this, it should be done really quickly. Alright, then in this project I have decided to pare down my false lash collection, and we do have another empty now. So the false lashes that I'm actually wearing currently, these are the Technic Natural Lash false lashes in the shade black brown and in the style date night, and these are pretty, but they are so long that because I do have hooded eyes, they sometimes touch my eyelid. One of you actually suggested that I could trim these lashes. I have trimmed the lash band, but not the lashes themselves. And now these are really to the point where there's quite a bit of lash glue in the lashes, and when I try to remove it, the lashes just kind of like keep falling apart. I will say I am glad that these are done because the lash band is really flimsy and the lashes are so long, so it's really difficult for me to apply these. But I will be rolling in some other false lashes. I really want to pan my lash collection to the point where I have only one little bit more glam pair, because I don't wear false lashes anymore at all on my everyday basis, not always even on special occasion, and if I wasn't panning my false lashes I wouldn't even wear them for filming every time. Now I try to wear them for filming just because I want to pan them. I have now decided to pan all of my Ardell Demi Wispies, so I do have a multi-pack that is pretty new, maybe I bought it on Black Friday, and I have taken one pair out that I have worn maybe a couple of times. Now I will start using these after the Technic lashes are gone, and I think my goal will be to use one pair between these project pan updates. Then, although I'm panning eyeshadow in my Pan That Palette project, I do want to put cream and liquid eyeshadows into this project if I want to focus on any. I have here one liquid eyeshadow with Usage Gold. This one is the Jason Wu Celestial Lust liquid eyeshadow in the shade Jane Doe, which basically is a rose gold shade. I am wearing this today, however, I don't really like to wear this on its own. I have done it quite a few times. For example, in the last video that I filmed, it was the part-time YouTuber tag. I was wearing this on its own, but just this week I learned that this one actually works so beautifully paired with another eyeshadow. It's actually from my Pan That palette, and well, skip a little bit ahead if you don't want any spoilers, but this eyeshadow over here pairs so nicely with this liquid eyeshadow, because on its own I think the liquid eyeshadow is a little bit blah on me. I just find on my coloring the color rose gold is sort of tricky because it's just a little bit cool, it's just a little bit muted, so I find pairing it with the kind of like light pinky champagne from here makes the liquid eyeshadow appear brighter, and then the pinky champagne eyeshadow from this Huda palette is just not the greatest formula. It's pretty, but it's one of those kind of like cream to powder formulas that on my hooded, slightly oily eyelids will crease no matter if I use eyeshadow primer or not, which I always do. But it doesn't crease when I pair it with this one. So what I like to do is that I first put on a layer of that Huda Beauty eyeshadow, then I tap on a little bit of this one, and then sometimes I still put on top of that a little bit of that Huda Beauty eyeshadow, or sometimes I leave it there if I'm a little bit more busy, for example. That way I have been able to get good use out of this, and I did set myself a usage goal of 10 uses, and I actually hit that. So I'm really happy. First of all, look at that, there's a clear dent in the eyeshadow, so really happy about that. There's maybe like third of the eyeshadow gone. And then also I weighed this earlier today, and I don't now remember exactly where the weight was. Now I'm still going to keep this eyeshadow in this project just because it pairs so well with the Huda Beauty eyeshadow, and on its own I just don't really like this. So if I can get good use out of this paired with that eyeshadow that I'm focusing on anyways, that's just really good, and I want to keep this in this project. But I'm not going to put any usage goal. I'm going to wait it, however, as I said, and you know, we will see once the Huda Beauty eyeshadow is gone how much progress I have been able to make on this one. However, I'm still going to roll in another liquid eyeshadow just because this is seasonally so appropriate. This one is from Pupa. It's one of the Vamp liquid eyeshadows. These don't have names other than numbers. This one is 15 and it was some sort of a limited edition collection. So it is a really kind of like frosty and icy white, but it's kind of like a warm golden white, like it does have clearly some gold there. But yeah, I do think this is really pretty, but it is really light, so it's kind of like a tricky color. But right now, for sure, since we are in winter, we're heading towards the spring, is when I would use this. However, I will set my usage goal be just 5 so that it doesn't distract quite as much my palette progress, and I want to get to that 5 by the next update. Okay, so we're moving into my new favorite category of beauty, which is perfume. I did put into this project 3 perfume samples. I was able to finish all of these 3. Well, first I will mention a really random sample that I don't know what perfume it is, because it doesn't read anywhere, and I got this as a gift with purchase and it just didn't say it anywhere what the perfume is. But that is now gone. This one is a really powdery floral fragrance that clearly has some vanilla there. This one is just maybe a little bit too much floral, but I am glad I was able to finish it. Then another sample that I was able to finish was the Giardini di Toscana Bianco Latte, and I did have a 5 ml sample of this one. I actually got this one probably in fall and used about a half and wasn't really feeling it back then, but then I thought that I want to save the rest of it for winter, because I thought that this is going to be something that I would enjoy in winter because it's a really comforting scent. And I got to say, I really fell in love with it to the point where I bought the dupe from Lattafa, which is Eclair. I got to say they're similar, but right now I don't think Eclair is quite as good. Middle Eastern perfumes oftentimes need some time to macerate. I have had mine now for about a month, so maybe it won't be its best yet this winter. What I personally like in Bianco Latte, and what might be what not everybody likes about it, is that it has coumarin note there. That makes it just a little bit spicier and a little bit more interesting. Okay, but next we do have a perfume that actually made me realize that I want to declutter almost all of my samples. So this one is the sample of the Swiss Arabian Oud 07, and I'm sorry if you love this perfume, but I think that tells that you have a more advanced nose when it comes to perfume than mine. I'm somebody who I guess has a pretty basic taste. This one is just way too strong for me, too complex, too overpowering. I tried to layer it with other perfume. That's the way I was able to get good use out of it. At some point I sprayed just one spray to my hair. Sometimes it worked better and my hair smelled like I just have there some expensive hair oil, but then sometimes I would just smell the perfume lingering around, and it's way too much for me. And that made me realize that, you know what? For me, if I sample perfumes, the point of the sample is really to help me figure out if I want to buy that perfume in a full-size bottle or not. And more often than not, I do know by just smelling it from skin. And it's actually really rare that I need to use a complete sample in order to know if I like the perfume or not. Actually, there's only one sample like that I'm really not sure. But the rest of the samples that I had, some of them are really pretty, but they're not my kind of perfume. However, as I said, I decided to keep still one more perfume sample because I'm truly not sure how I feel about this. This is another one from Swiss Arabian. It is their Shaghav Oud Tonka. Now, I would love to love this perfume and to want to buy the bottle. The bottle itself is beautiful. However, the only thing that makes me kinda question it is that this one is really heavy on almonds. It's like an almond first perfume. In my opinion, it actually should be called Almond Tonka because I really don't get that oud. I'm not even sure if it was listed there actually, but it does have tonka bean. Almond for me is kind of like a tricky note because oftentimes it just feels bitter. But then again, just smelling this perfume, it smells really beautiful. Like, I do like how it smells, but then I'm worried if I'm going to wear it every day, if the almond is going to disturb me. But actually, I don't even know if I have worn this a full day yet. I have sometimes tested it maybe when I go to bed. But yeah, I mean, there's a pretty nice dent on my sample already. I have used maybe a third, but I really do want to now test it. But I don't want to waste it. I want to kind of like test it mindfully. Maybe test it a couple of times now that the weather is still cooler, and then also wait for the warmer weathers to test it further. So maybe for May or something like that. And then I am also going to be rolling in a full-size perfume. So this is the Body Shop Eau de Toilette in Vanilla. And this one is my oldest perfume. I think I bought it in 2020 and this one really does not perform well. I don't know if the age has to do with it. Oftentimes perfume just get better as it ages, but it might be different with, you know, this kind of formulation. That is how much I have left. So it is a 30 ml bottle, so I would assume that's probably like 10 ml or so. I think the way that I want to finish this one is carry it with me to work and use it as a reapply perfume. It's going to take a little bit longer time that way for sure, but I'm fine with it. Okay, then let's talk about some nail polish. So I did put into this project the Color Club nail lacquer in the shade Take It or Leave It. Now I don't know if the camera picks at all where it goes, but it is about there. So there's still a little bit of product. However, I'm calling it done because this one is just straight up expired. Not only is it so thick that it's really difficult to get my nails done, but also when I get my nails done, they look fine first, but once this dries, it goes bubbly and it really looks like there's something wrong with my nails and it just looks gross. So I did use this a couple of times, but every time when I use this and I look at my nails, I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? Like, this is expired. And I will say my nail polishes are the oldest products in my collection. Like, they're the only things that are still from 2010s, and I have been pretty good at not buying any new nail polish. I think I have wanted to focus on these older ones, and I really would like to just finish my entire nail polish collection and start getting my nails done professionally. But I cannot justify that sort of thing before I have finished my entire nail polish collection. So yeah, this one is gone now, but I'm going to be rolling in 2 new nail polishes to replace that. So first is the Perfume Molten Metal Nail Paint, and this one is in the shade Pink Ice. This one actually is pretty much the perfect match to the eyeshadow that I am wearing currently. It is a cool, really frosty rose gold. And I got to say, this is beautiful. I am wearing it today and I'm wearing only 1 coat. That is so nice about this one. Even if you apply only 1 coat, it's going to be sort of sheer, but not in a bad and patchy way. It's pretty much full I have had it since 2018, but it's still not dry at all, so it works beautifully. But I think I have been sort of saving it, and I have been typically working on some nail polishes, and nail polish is one of those things that when I am panning a nail polish, I rarely use other nail polishes. However, I do still want to have a warm option because I don't always want to go for a cool nail polish. So I'm also going to be rolling in my Color Club nail polish in the shade Piece of Cake. This one I have gotten a little bit better use out of. I have used not quite half, but I'm not far away from there. And this one is a really light, kind of like shimmery peachy color. This is actually something that I can only do one really thin layer, and that way it's just going to look really beautiful, kind of like a gloss for my nails. But if I try to layer it, then it starts to go patchy and weird and also thick. So right now I'm going to be focusing on the rose gold one, but I also can use this if I want to. This rose gold one, I know that once we get past midway through the year, I won't be feeling a color like this, so my goal is to get it used up before that. Okay, then I do have here some more boring to me products, although I have been recently quite a bit into skincare, but there are still maybe products that I'm not super excited to pan, so let's go through these pretty quickly. I do have here one empty, however, because I rolled in so many new products already, I'm not going to be rolling in anything else anymore. But I was able to finish the LAQ Light Face Cleansing Mousse. As you can see, it is now gone. It was like a dry mousse sort of thing that you picked from here and you need to wet it, and then it's a nice foaming cleanser, and I actually really liked my skin afterwards, but just a really unpractical product in my opinion. Then another skincare product is the Eau de Crème 3 Minutes Mask. This is the Murmur Butter Mask, and it's supposed to be nourishing and it's for extra dry skin. I don't know, I actually used this today before I started filming and did my makeup. I just felt that my skin was really dry afterwards, but maybe it was just too long of a break between having the mask and trying my skin and then applying moisturizer. It might have been that. I don't know if I can show you how much progress I have. Like it's pretty full. What I think I want to try with this one is to use it as a foot mask, because my feet are kind of like crusty and dry and I just kind of like forget to take good care of them. But maybe if I use this one in the nights, put socks on, so maybe I would have nice and soft feet for the summer. So I'm going to try that, because honestly I don't want to use this on my face because it just doesn't really work. And I also don't like the scent. Eau de Crème is like a natural cosmetics brand, and sometimes they do have that weird scent in their products, and this is one of those products. Then I have here the Lucky Cloud Hydrating Super Balm, a product that I got from a beauty subscription box or advent calendar back in 2020. And I think my goal was to finish it by this update. Well, I didn't quite get there, but I am not far away. So as you can see, there's really only a little bit of product in the bottom and in the sides of the jar. By the next update, it will for sure be gone. Then the Innocent Nurturing Body Cake from Luon Goss. This is another product that, you know, a cool concept, but it's just so unpractical. It is like a body oil that is in a bar soap. In the intro I had this large chunk and two smaller ones. My goal was to use up the smaller ones, and I was able to do that, so that's nice. But I don't like to use this one on large areas on my skin because it's really oily and really greasy. But I like to use it for stuff like aftershave, dry elbows, other dry patches. Okay, then lastly, the Paul Mitchell Extra Body Thicken Up. I'm just so fed up with this product. I had this one in a project late last year where I just wanted to finish products before the new year, and I said that I really don't want to take this with me to 2025, but then, you know, it's still usable, so I didn't want to throw it away. Now we have reached the point where it doesn't really come up super well with pumping, so if I want to use it, I need to open it. The thing is that I only use this one if I do a blow dry, and I just don't do it really often. because I typically wash my hair in the evening and let it air dry. Okay, so that is everything for this update. It was a longer one and I don't even remember anymore all of the products that I do want to finish by the next update, but there are several that I want to. So hopefully we can then in the next update roll in some new products also. Maybe if I can pare down the makeup products in this project a little bit, I could also start rolling in some like skincare and hair care products and body care. That's everything for today. Thank you so much for watching this video and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye bye.